Okay everyone, let's look at Module 26208-23, Conductor Terminations and Splices in the NCCER 11th edition. This will be Section 1.00, Stripping and Training Conductors. Stripping and training conductors. A properly fabricated electrical connection should last as long as the wire insulation. Poor connections can lead to excessive heat, insulation damage, and damage to the equipment or point of connection. Good electrical connections must be mechanically and electrically secure and insulated at least as well as the existing insulation on the conductors. Selecting the proper type of electrical connector depends on how and where the splice is used. Before a connection or splice can be made, the areas must be cut and stripped must be cleaned. To prevent nicks, scrapes, and burnishes, conductors must only be stripped with appropriate tools. To strip a conductor, insert it into the proper groove and squeeze. The conductor can then be easily pulled free of the insulation. Automatic strippers do not require the user to pull the conductor free of the stripper. When stripping small conductors, a scissor action cutting tool is preferable. Always remove the cable jacket with a tool designed for the wire size. Cut insulation so no frayed pieces extend past the point of cutoff. Terminate the strip wire as soon as possible. Keeping the conductor insulation inside the belled mouth of the terminal helps relieve stress on the wire strands and increase the connection strength. Stripping of large conductors. Large conductors and cables can be cut using a handheld ratcheting cable cutter. Heavy-duty strippers are also used to strip large power cables. Strippers can be used to remove insulation or to make window cuts. Always consult your tools manufacturer's instructions. Warning, keep your fingers away from the blade when using any stripping tool and replace the blade when it becomes dull. A dull blade is dangerous because you are more likely to apply undue pressure, causing the tool to slip. Bending and training of conductors. Training is the positioning of cables near a termination so that it is not under tension. Tension should be limited so that the cable's physical and electrical characteristics are maintained. The minimum bend radius for wire and cable routing is 3 times the outside diameter. Provide adequate clearance for movable parts. All cables should be supported to prevent strain. Protect wires against abrasion and provide clearance between conductors and heat radiating components. Allow sufficient slack at the termination of each wire to allow for at least one repair. Do not bend terminals more than 30 degrees above or below the termination point. Minimum bend radius is determined by the cable's diameter and sometimes the cable's construction. 2 common types of cable bending tools are the ratchet bender and the hydraulic bender. Always consult the NEC for requirements. Unshielded cable can take a sharper bend than shielded cable. Damaged cable may initially pass acceptance testing, but often fails prematurely. The bending space at terminals must be measured in a straight line. Short circuit bracing. All incoming lines to either lugs or main disconnects must be braced to withstand the mechanical force created by a high fault current. If not braced correctly, the connections become the weakest part of a panel board when a fault develops. In most cases, each incoming line component has a two-piece spreader bar. Incoming cable lines should be positioned and then anchored in place. And some trade terms you need to read over for this section. And some review questions for this section. When inserting a conductor in a crimp barrel, the conductor strands should protrude no more than 1/32 of an inch, 1/16, 1/8, or 1/4. And I'm going to say 1/32. When using a cutting tool, a dull cutting edge is safer than a sharp edge, is less likely to cause conductor damage, may result in slips, is unlikely because the tool self-sharpens, may result in slips. Positioning cable so that it is not under tension is known as training, bending, racking, or crimping. Training. Alright, that's it for that section. The next section will be 2.00, making wire connections, and I will see you over there.